I guess I never go out. It's funny because I watch everybody. I can do it a little bit on TV, but I tend to see that.
Basketball games.
Speaking of being aggressive, I just really like how you've been aggressive with your three. I was looking at JJ. I know JJ been on you about it, but there was a kickback three with LeBron. He kicks it back to you. JJ literally stands up when as soon as you touch the ball. Yeah, in Vegas. Yeah.
No,
it was in Palm Springs. Yeah. Has he always been on you in terms of that and just making sure you just being aggressive with the three?
Yeah. Shoot a lot of them in practice and. At the end of one practice, he definitely, in the front of the group, said that, you shoot him in practice, but we need you to shoot him in the game. After I shot 9 at Phoenix, the next film session for Golden State, he said it again. He's constantly on me, and not just him, like D'Lo, AR, Bronny, like everybody. It's only about just shooting more. I'm gonna let him fly. I might shoot 15 this season. Okay.
Thank you.
19.
Make another step in my life.
One thing I really like is about your journey. Also, the rise to Xavier, being a transfer portal, kid too as well. What can you say to the kids out there, and then also for you being a Laker through all that progression you've made? What can you say to that too?
I want to start by saying I'm a huge fan. Swish Cultures, I've been following you for like 4 years, maybe 3-4 years. So I just want to give you your flowers, and I'll say that I appreciate what you're doing. But my biggest advice is just to trust your process. My biggest brother, my biggest motivator, I guess, would be Trey Murphy. He was like my brother my freshman year. We did everything together, and when he went off and was in the league right after Virginia, and I was just always like looking up to him, just trying to take advice from him, but his journey wasn't my journey. He was drafted first round, 17th pick to the Pelicans, I believe, and I had to stay in college a little bit longer. So just never compare yourself. Take nuggets from everyone that's done it, but try to not let exactly what happened in their life and compare that to what's happening in your life, because everybody's journey is different. I'm so thankful for how my journey prepared me for this moment, because I guarantee if I had received these blessings about 2-3 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to handle this type of success or fame. I probably would have let it get to my head or try to think that I'm bigger than something I'm not, and it would have eventually came and gone super quick. but my journey prepared me to handle this success, stay humble, and keep working. And just making it to the Lakers, I mean, it's the biggest franchise in the NBA. And to be here, purple and gold, it's ironic because my dad's an Omega. And so I didn't cross. So this is my contribution to the NBA fraternity to be here. And so just a blessing, honestly. I'm very thankful.
Quincy, I don't know if you got a chance to talk to Austin Reeves or like Mazzello.
That is the progress you guys made over training camp and appreciate you guys behind you.
We're good. I mean, we still got one more practice tomorrow and shooting around Tuesday, but we've been really good. I like where we are. We're constantly getting better each and every day. As a team, individually, and we got a couple more days to get everything right, tighten up the screws, and get ready for our opponent on Tuesday.
Kind of stepping back a little bit when the roster basically stayed the same this summer. How much did you feel like needed to change in terms of the way you guys played? Was it small stuff that needed adjustment for you guys to take the kind of step you wanted this year in the new system? Or was it more big changes that had to happen?
I don't remember what I was told. I just came in this year with a fresh mindset, to come in and do what JJ is asking of us on both ends of the floor. We're showcasing the team that we can be. Obviously, we got to get better with turnovers, and, the little details. But last year, and this year we're focused on trying to do something special.
You were the second leading scorer in the preseason for all players behind Giannis. Were there things about the kinds of shots and kinds of looks you were getting in this system that feel more open to you? Was there anything different, or was it just a continuation, kind of the way you've been playing X amount of months?
It's a continuation. Just constantly working my game. I think the summer, having the time to play real basketball, kind of help, the rhythm, kind of carry over from previous season. So I think that helped a lot. But then also, the space in the offense, that JJ has implemented and have us in. We should have a good look every time down the floor.
I know you said individual awards is not really something that takes too much mind at this stage of your career. But that said, so you're coming off the gold medal, played a career high in games last year, 26, I think. Had obviously a strong preseason and a strong playoffs and a short lived. What are your expectations of yourself, just like where you're at this stage of your career to affect the winning streak?
Being aggressive every time down the court, being dominant every game. Doing my job, doing my part, and helping the team do what we got to do. Just taking on the matchup defensively, taking on the role offensively, being the leader of the team, carrying us in games, playoffs, whatever it takes. So, we can't rely heavily on our individual games. Obviously it's a team effort and what we're trying to build. But for me personally, just taking it upon myself to make sure that I'm even better than what I was last year.
Hey, do you speak?
But so what was the team's reaction to the two things that happened in the Golden State game positively? Bronny and then playing with some confidence and breaking through, and then obviously Quincy and him subsequently getting rewarded.
Yeah, Quincy had a great preseason for us, great training camp. We really got a chance to see him in the Milwaukee game, and how he came back and just kind of changed that game. And not even with his scoring, just his presence on the floor, picking up full court. Obviously, his shot making ability, his talking, his defensive activity. And then, anytime you get a chance to be on the floor, he makes an impact. Last game going to state, he kind of showed that again. He got rewarded for that. He got rewarded for his hard work that he's been putting in. And then, also for Bronny, able to gain his confidence. I saw that he said that, he feels great. He just, his confidence, has to get back, where it is. And I think last game, kind of helped that. Seeing the ball go in and having a great game. So both of them guys, been putting in the work. Obviously, you see them here working out before and after practice. And it pays off. Quincy's over here, Charlie Bronny's over here. So I mean, it's gonna pay off, and it paid off for those two guys. Bronny already had a contract with Quincy, being able to go from E10 to two-way. And then both of those guys being able to finish the preseason strong.
Dan asked about the major changes. Obviously, the major change you guys did make with JJ and new coaching staff. Is there a feeling now that you've been through preseason, been through training camp, that major change alone are going to be the catapult you guys to a different level than you guys?
What major change? What major change?
Getting JJ and the new coaching staff. Does it feel like that alone can be what gets you guys over the hump compared to last season?
We'll see. Like I said, we look good in preseason, minus the scores and the games, obviously. But for the most part, I think we look good on both ends of the floor. But we'll see if it translates, to the regular season. We can't say that change is going to get us over the hump. We don't know, but we do know that we're going to come in every day, put our hard hats on, and create a working environment where we prepare each and every night and put ourselves in the best position.
Everybody available. You should be available.
We had and obviously Christian, C. Wood, and Bando. Those three out, but everybody else was available.
I was talking with AD, about him being aggressive, shooting a three. I was watching some film. It was a game against Minnesota against Palm Springs. Brown had a kickback. As soon as he touches the ball, you stood up and was telling AD to shoot it. He was just talking about how you've been, talking to him in practice too as well. How has that dialogue been with him in terms of getting to be more aggressive with the three?
It's been very positive. We have talked just about willingness to shoot. We are not concerned about volume necessarily. There has to be a willingness to shoot the basketball, and he's done that, and it seems like he's really embraced that.
When you see his form too, do you see he has a nice shot, to be honest. When you look back at his form, would you say to yourself man, I think he should honestly shoot this amount per game instead of not being aggressive?
Yeah, you have to take good threes. They have to be rhythm threes. He has to be in a position within our structure to take those threes. So there's a lot more that goes into it than just, hey, we want you shooting threes, if you know what I mean. But his form is excellent, and that's reflected. He's always been a really good free throw shooter. So it should translate.
You've talked to us about wanting to establish player development as a big part of the program while you run it. Also, the competitive nature, kind of attitude that you bring to the gym every day. Does Quincy OlivarI kind of display any of those tenets? And just what do you feel about him getting upgraded to two-way?
Yeah, we're excited for Quincy. Really appreciative of Colin and the work that he's put in here. Just felt like given our roster construction and Quincy's play both in preseason prior to the start of camp and during the last 20 days, he was deserving of a two-way contract. We're excited to have him in our program, and I think he's about the right things, which is those are the type of people we're trying to bring in here. And that's not to say Colin wasn't about the right things either. Colin and I had a conversation yesterday. We're really appreciative of Colin.
Did you see Quincy's post? Does that make its way to you anyway?
There were some comments made on the Bucks, but I did not see it.
JJ, I'm not sure today versus tomorrow how much Minnesota time that you spent, but obviously not a lot of film on Randall and how he'll play there. You saw DiVincenzo. Any just top line thoughts about how they could be a little different from last year, but still have a lot of the same personality as a team?
Yeah, Randall's a terrific player. DiVincenzo's a terrific player. To me, it still starts with Anthony Edwards, and it still starts with trying to figure out ways to attack their defense. Not only do they have the defensive player of the year in Gobert, but they have pit bulls on the wings. Daniels, Edwards, Alexander Walker. They have again, Naz Reid coming off the bench. They have a lot of really good players, and so yeah, we did some initial, I wouldn't call it game planning, but we did some initial stuff tough on them today, and we'll continue that tomorrow and Tuesday morning.
How have you felt about the process, the growth, in terms of how the team operates? You know, when AD and LeBron are operating in the post, how the up court guys, whether it's spacing, cutting, screening, how you felt about the process in terms of the learning some work you're trying to install?
Specifically in the post?
Yeah, specifically in the post.
Yeah, once we taught our spacing, they've been great. I mean, it's very simple. We want to give those guys room. So we have our spacing rules, and that's it.
How much of, I guess, philosophically speaking, when you thought about the way you want the JJ Reddick team to play, how much of that is, these are my beliefs, my principles, and how much of that is these are the players that I have, how can I make it work for them? Does that make sense?
It does. I'm trying to figure out the best way to answer that. There's probably more of an art to it than a science. There's probably some give and take and trying to find a balance. I do think there's carryover from some of my philosophies around basketball and really any roster. And then you take this job, and you're fortunate that you have inherent talent. The talent's already there, especially at the top. So you do look for ways to maximize your players within some of your own philosophies, and you also have to have some leeway to that to give them what they need to be excellent. That maybe goes against your philosophies, and to be honest with you, there hasn't been a lot of that. It's mostly been same page and buy-in from everybody, coaches and players.
JJ, I know as a player you always, try and get better each day with your craft, but as a coach, how do you feel like you've gotten better since the preseason all the way into now?
Yeah, this is all simultaneously familiar and new, if that makes sense. There's a duality to this for me right now. Just trying to be open-minded and self-critical at all times. That's also some duality there as well. So, I can't really say like specific things where I'm like, oh, I've already grown here. But I think being comfortable, recognizing mistakes and things you could do better, whether that's an ATO or how you teach something in practice, whatever it may be. The biggest thing for me is to provide as much clarity as possible to our players, and I think our coaching staff has done that so far. All right, thank you guys.
That I put myself in position to receive a two-way, just didn't know where. But it wasn't until yesterday around like 11, I had just left the facility after a massage, and Nick Mazzella texted me and said, "Hey Quincy, I heard that you just were up here, sorry, but can you come back?" And as I was coming back, I was at Jackson Hayes' house, and when I came back, as I'm pulling into the facility, he calls me and basically just like, I called my mom, called my dad, we all on the phone. He said, yeah, they're gonna convert you to a two-way, and it was just like, oh, it's really happening. So probably I would say, what's about the time, like 11:40, what's it, about 24 hours ago, about this time.
Well, we've gotten a chance to talk to you throughout these last couple of months, going back to Summer League, but how would you describe that call, like in the anticipation of driving here and kind of wondering what Nick was going to say and all that?
Just keep working. This ain't my end goal in life, but it's another milestone that I've completed and accomplished, and I'm just glad I was able to come back up here to practice today. Honestly, I woke up today, I was like, it might be early, I might still be tired, but there's some people that don't have this blessing that I have, so I'm just gonna take full advantage and change and hold on to it.
We've seen the way some of your contemporaries,
Caruso and Reeves, they as guards had the two ways from the Lakers, and we've kind of seen where their careers have gone. Whatever they do with their program in the South Bay Lakers, do you feel like that has a specific path to success?
Yes, sir. But I think also you have to give credit to those guys too. They came in and they handled business. I think if they were with the Austin Spurs or with the Sioux Falls Heat, any other G League team, they would have still found success because those two guys still have a great mindset and are still great players at the end of the day. But I think South Bay definitely knows what they're doing. It's on the wall over there going to the locker room, all the people that have been called up, and it's just like every time I walk by there, whether that was Summer League or training camp, I was like, I gotta have my name on their names.
Appreciate it.